Hi YouTube, ACDodd here again, and welcome to another episode of On the Road Tuning with me, ACDodd. And this time we're up at Minispares for their 50th anniversary open day. Okay, here we are at Minispares. They've set up and got me a nice little space. I've got 3 cars waiting at the moment. First car, beautiful road racing Mini, lovely car. Just to let you know where we are, look, we're in the back of the warehouse of Minispares. Fantastic. So first car in, got a nice modified 1380 with a brand new engine. So let's get this set up and running in. So this first car that we got in is actually owned by someone who works for Minispares, and it had a brand new engine in. Unfortunately, the engine developed a problem, which we'll see in a minute. But it's a good opportunity to show that just because everything's new doesn't mean to say everything's going to be going to go perfectly well. So this is a great example of where someone's put an engine in the car and they want to do the right thing and they're getting it looked at, but there's a few little issues that can arise and things need looking at. So in this particular case, let's watch the video and then I'll do some more explanation after we see the next clip. Okay, so first car, didn't get to finish the tune on this one because we appeared to develop a problem with the rockers or valves. I think there was a valve sticking open. It started to stick open when it got to 4,000 revs, so I've had to curtail the tune here. Can't finish this car off, but what I did do is drilled the airbox, got that far, got the red spring out, changed it for a yellow spring, changed to a BCF needle, but I didn't get a chance to profile the needle because obviously we developed a fault with the engine. So further investigation work needs to be done with this now, and I'll move on to the next car. So just before I carry on with what we found with that car, one of the things to understand here is on this Minispares day is I was operating a queue system. So we were doing short slots, about half an hour to 45 minutes per vehicle. So I've got much reduced time to be able to work on each car. So as we go through the video, you will notice that it's much more sporty than usual, and I haven't been able to get as much footage as I want because I'm literally haven't got time to get the footage. So I've relied on other people and I've also tried to get footage where I can, and perhaps when it's been quieter. So anyway, with that in mind, let's go back to this car that couldn't be tuned. So as it was happening, I revved the engine, got to about 4,000 revs, and it sounded like a valve or a rocker was getting stuck, keeping a valve open. And then once the revs dropped down, that would then free off, I assume, as the perhaps the galling that was happening in there was due to temperature. The temperature dropped and obviously the valve freed itself off. Don't really know the details. However, the symptoms were exactly that. So it was just dropping a cylinder and making a tapping noise as the clearances increased, etc. So what I advise the customer do to there is to investigate, take the head off, have a look at the valve to rocker clearances, make sure they've been reamed properly, got the right, sized properly, what I mean by that, and make sure you got the right clearances. So these things can happen on a new engine build, especially if the components have been freshly machined and perhaps the tolerances aren't quite right, or there's been a problem with assembly, they've been put together dry and things like that. Anyway, I don't know why. All I know is that was the symptom we were seeing. So I had to curtail the tune there because what I didn't want to do is have a situation where a valve hit a piston and all the rest of it. So when you get these scenarios and you're tuning, you have to be very careful, and you have to make sure that obviously to the best of your ability you don't damage the engine, although customers bring their cars in for tuning and it is very much done at their own risk. Having said that, this car was impeccably well assembled, so I don't think it's going to be a massive issue to actually solve this problem, and the engine certainly wasn't damaged. I think it was more, in my view, a clearance issue. But that being said, I look forward to be able to hopefully finish the tune on that in the future. Okay, so next car, we have a nice little, is it a Ritz? 25, sorry, it's a Mini 25 with a straight 998 in it. So it's got a stage 1 kit. So let's dig in and see what we can find. So this was a nice little car. It was actually owned, I didn't know this at the time, but it was owned by the chap who runs the YouTube channel Classic Mini Shorts. His lovely little Mini 25, and he'd prepared this car very well. So he'd even removed the grille, he gapped all his spark plugs. This was a fantastic example of somebody doing the maintenance so that they could get the best out of my time for the tune. So without further ado, let's have a look, see what I did. Okay, so this little one, we're pretty much done. So there was no issues with the coil. The owner had watched my video and he'd set all his plug gaps right, coil was right. The only thing we did find was we only had 40 degrees of dwell, so I adjusted that up. We got just over 50 now, which is excellent. Adjusted the timing. So this is now running about 28 degrees of full advance. We've got BP5 spark plugs, going over to the carburetor. The owner's fitted my hybrid damper, which is excellent. He had 50 weight oil, which was just a bit thick. So we've gone down to 30 weight oil, had an AAU needle, which was almost perfect in this one. So we just needed a slight touch on the needle at 2000 revs, and she's good to go. So I'll get the owner out in it, and hopefully they'll be happy. So we can see there that this particular car was well maintained. So the owner had actually got everything pretty much right. All I had to do was tweak the dwell angle, adjust the timing, and then obviously you can hear there the owner had already fitted one of my new hybrid dampers for an HS4, and all I had to do really was I had to do a slight adjustment on the needle, but in this case the oil was too thick in the carb, so I had to just reduce that to get the accelerator pump effect right. And subsequently I do know that the spark plugs have cleaned up nicely, because the owner has actually let me know via a comment on his video. So I'll leave a link in the comment section below this video so that you can see his channel, see his video of what he did for the day at Minispares, and obviously covered what he did, or what we did on the tune as well. So without further ado, let's crack on with the next car. Okay, so this one was one I'd done about a year ago. And it had a new carb on it at the time, so it's just come back in for a check after it's had the engine out for a gearbox change. So what we found was where they've obviously disturbed the engine, the timing had been advanced by about 9 degrees. So I've retarded the ignition timing, and then obviously I turned my attention to the carburetor. Now obviously that's a new carb, so I tuned it last year. It was actually quite a bit different, so it just needed quite a small modification to the needle, but the big change was the accelerator pump effect. Needed a lot more enrichment on acceleration today, so changed the damper, and we've now gone up to a 30 weight oil. So we had a 2050 oil in it before with the original damper. Now I've come down to a 20 weight, and then that was too thin with the new damper, so I've gone up to 30 weight, and we're on the money now. So hopefully this is good to go. This was a previous customer that I've been to about a year ago. This was Neil with his lovely HLE 1000 Metro. As I said there, the engine's been out since the tune. It's had some major work in terms of the gearbox. So gearbox has all been rebuilt, everything's been put back in, and I think what Neil wanted to do here was just to make sure that the engine was on the money in terms of its tune, which, as we subsequently found out, the timing was out a little bit too far advanced, had 9 degrees extra advance on it. These things happen when people work on cars, they move things. Obviously, if you remove an engine, you might be taking the distributor out and things like that, and they don't necessarily know the exact settings, so they get put back in the wrong place. So my job here really is to get this running. The surprise for me really was that was a rebuilt carb, which I put on last year, and I found out that there was insufficient richness on acceleration. So I had to actually fit a new 2085 damper in that, and then reset the oil. These things do happen on a rebuilt carb as they settle in. So in this particular case, on that day, we needed a thicker oil in the dashpot. So I do know that subsequently Neil was very happy with the performance, and I'm sure he'll comment on this video as well, because obviously the engine ran a lot smoother and it pulled better under acceleration, which is what it's all about. It also goes to show that just because you have parts fitted, they're not maintenance free. These are mechanical parts, and they need maintenance and checks to be able to make sure that they stay in tune to get the best out of your vehicle. Ratio is
9.75.
okay. So what I've done here is we've moved over to a chap called Stefan, who is a long-time viewer of my YouTube channel. And he's actually come from Europe over for the IMM, but obviously that was cancelled. So he's come to the tuning day because he specifically wanted an ACDodd tune and to meet me. So here I am going through his car. Stefan has very kindly videoed that, provide me some footage. So I'm just presenting that here. And what you're currently seeing is me going through and checking the advance curve on the 1, 2, 3 ignition. So Stefan's car is very nicely put together. It's got a 1, 2, 3 ignition, complete with the 1, 2, 3 coil. So what I'm really doing here is just going through the settings just to make sure you know, that we've got the right advance curve for the application. I do believe he was running one of my camshafts as well with the right compression. So really, for me, this is a fairly straightforward tune, just to dial that in. But what you're seeing is that process being played out. What curve is that set on there?
Number curve 2.
Number 2, okay.
Yeah.
Have you got a list of the curves? So what I'm doing here is asking Stefan if he's got a list of the curves that are on that distributor, because the curve 2 that it was set at wasn't given enough advance. So what I did was looked at the curves. I selected, I think it was the next curve, curve 3, which basically gave another 2 or 3 degrees advance at 2000 revs, which I felt this engine needed. And sure enough, it responded well, and just goes to prove the benefit of actually having the selectable curves in this instance. Actually feels better as well. So let's get the sniffer up the back.
Hij moet nog net voordat hij vervalt.
Yeah.
Well done for getting the car almost there. That's pretty good. Just needs a little bit of a tweak. I think we'll be there. So what I was doing there is just checking the fueling across the rev range, and it was lean at 2,000 to 3,000 RPM. So we'll just take that needle out, give it a little tweak, put it back in, and I think we'll be good to go.
Why not?
Yeah. And then we have better starting and more reliable. You know, it's just everything's better, and you can run leaner fuel mix.
Yeah.
So, you know, more coil power equals a longer lasting engine. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's the truth. So long as the carb is calibrated for it.
Yeah. I only the problem I have with this coil, I have the radio sound on my rev counter.
Yeah.
So it's bouncing sometimes a little bit when. Yeah.
Right, can we start it up?
Yeah.
Too much fuel.
Yeah.
Do it again, what? Just pull a little bit of fuel out of that by thinning the oil a little bit. Turn it off. After we profiled the needle, just the final checks on the snap throttle, and as you can hear there, I'm saying that there's too much fuel. So in this particular case, we just needed to change the dashboard oil just to thin that down a little bit to actually bring that fueling into check, which we did. So subsequently, Stefan has told me his car's running better, so he was obviously very happy with the work, and I was very happy to meet somebody from the continent that wanted to come over and meet me, which was excellent. So yeah, he's now got a happy Mini which he can enjoy, and he's going to have clean running plugs and hopefully a long lasting engine. So let's move on to the next car. Right, so we got a Park Lane. So I haven't done much filming today because I've been flat out trying to tune. So this is very pink. And that's because this one's owned by a young lady. Okay, so this is Frankie. Frankie's the owner of this nice Park Lane with the pink interior, which is very nice. So why have you brought it down today?
So it's been garage stored for 12 years when I bought it, and we've literally got it running.
Yep.
And through an MOT, and that's it. We've done nothing else to it.
Okay.
Seems very, very fuel-y. So
Okay, so it's what, smells rich? Okay, what's it drive like?
Hates being cold.
Okay.
Don't want to go anywhere, but once it warms up, it's fine.
Yep.
But then it can get a bit on the hot end.
Okay.
Start going longer journeys. So.
Oh, all right, cool. But power-wise, seems all right?
Yeah. Perfect.
Okay, all right. Well, let's dig in and see what we can find. Anyway, we have the usual 998 under the bonnet. I think this one's got a stage 1 kit. So let's dive in and see what we can find. So getting into this one, we find ourselves with some actual things that are working, which is very nice. So we've got a ballast feed to the coil, but in this case it's fine because the electronic ignition kit fitted is a fixed well, so we don't actually need a full, we don't need to bypass the ballast. This is the right coil. So we just need to make sure that the timing's set right. So what I've done in that aspect is I noticed the engine was quite harsh, so we pulled 5 degrees off the timing. In this case, I'm just about to check the spark plug, see what we got, and I think I've got a set of leads to put on it as well. So let's dig into those and see where we are. Okay, so ignition wise, as I said, we're all good. Just changed the H2 leads. I'll check the gap in the spark plugs are all good. Vacuum unit's working. I say the only thing I did do was just adjust the timing a little bit. The advance curve is very slow, so I think that's a future modification. But for today, I've advanced the base timing to get us where I need to be to get some power out of the engine. So in reality, we're now looking at the carburetor. So let's dig into that. So one of the problems you get with tuning old cars, especially cars that have been laid up or cars that have perhaps had ball wash and things like that, is when they burn oil, the lambda sensor picks it up as rich running. So in this particular case, I once we got to the carburetor, I started to have issues with trying to understand exactly what the fueling was, and that's because we were pushing some oil down the exhaust pipe, which was giving us richer readings. So in the end, I had to basically ignore that and do it old school, which is just use my ears and my senses to understand what was going on. So I couldn't really finish the tune in that respect. But I was certainly able to make it run better, and that's all you can do in these situations when you get an engine that uses oil. Okay, so I got through most of the tune, but the problem I've got is I've got smoke coming out the back, so it's contaminating my readings. So I'm not really 100% sure where I am with the fueling. So I've had a look down this particular hole, number 3, and sure enough, we got a nice wet cylinder, and the plug is still dark, whereas the others are cleaning up. So I think what we're going to have to do in this case is kind of leave it kind of there, because I've looked down the hole and we've got a great big lip on the cylinder bore and things like that. So this engine, I think, is past its best, but it is running well now. So I think all I've got to do now is let the owners go in it and see what they think. Okay, so Frankie's been out in our car now after we had a little battle with it because it was using a little bit of oil and smoking a bit, but we got there in the end. So what's it like now?
It's much better on the top end. So.
Yeah, and that's interesting that Frankie said that, because actually the fueling will look pretty good on the old needle at the lower end of the rev range. It's just I expected it to be lean, but we were getting contaminated readings, so actually I didn't really know where the hell I was with the fueling, so I kind of, well, I suppose sucked air through my teeth and thought that's close enough. So in the end, I think Frankie's happy with the improved performance. So sometimes on these cars, the older ones, you just got to do the best you can with what you got. So you now know you've got a project for the winter if you want to do that. So that being said, hopefully I will see you soon at some point in the future.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so that's it for this episode. I'll just wish to say thank you very much to Minispares, especially Simon Jackson and his team, for hosting me there and setting me up in a nice space, with providing me with bench workspace and everything I needed to make a successful day. I will also be letting you guys know that I have discussed with Minispares, and we are looking at a couple of dates for next year. Because it was successful, we're going to try and do that again in terms of offering some tune-ups at Minispares. So watch this space and Minispares' Facebook page, website, etc. For those. I won't say any more yet because we haven't arranged the dates and all the rest of it, but it's most definitely 2026. So as ever, hope you like that video. Please like, subscribe and share these videos. And I'll look forward to seeing you on the next one. Thank you very much.